Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. If you like The Mike Wagner Show and you want to make your own podcast, well, let me tell you about Anchor. First of all, it's free. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. You can also add any song from Spotify directly to your episodes. The possibilities are endless. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. You can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention The Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and even beloved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, and heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise on Amazon under the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And coming soon to the MikeWagnerShow.com, t-shirts, hoodies, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags for the ladies, and a lot more. And for great gift ideas, including books by Mia Mosensia, go to amazon.com/Mia Mosensia and orders great merchandise today. And make sure you support the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you give a generous amount to the MikeWagnerShow.com under donate. Also support at Anchor FM. And don't forget to give generously to PayPal as well. And make sure you do it today. We're here with a terrific lady who's a singer, songwriter, and very multi-talented. And her father, who is a head photographer of Penthouse Magazine, and her mom's a prima ballerina, and she's lived in Los Angeles in the Dollhouse, and she's worked in Tel Aviv since 13 as a songwriter with the UK's Invisible Men, also Cut Father, etc., and also made the top 10 in The Voice and numerous hits with Let's Mars from Israel. Well, speaking of Israel, live from the Plus Studios in beautiful Tel Aviv on a Monday night with her the two special guests now sleeping right now, and they're welcome anytime. Ladies and gentlemen, the very, very multi-talented Talia Londoner. Talia, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
That was fantastic. Wow. You made me feel like $1 million.
Or should we say we make you feel like you're the queen of Israel too? But of course, I forgot to mention that we do have to get it out. Oh, I guess we got one of your guests coming up as well too. And maybe before we talk about your special guests and maybe talk about one of your guests who decide to get up and literally butt in. Tell us more about it.
Yeah. About my guest over here?
Yeah, your guest over here who decided to butt in.
Well, let's see. Frankie, would you like to make a guest appearance? No, he's like,
Hi,
I'm
Frankie.
good.
Hey, Frankie.
That's
okay.
Frankie.
Well, hello,
like,
Frankie. Nice to meet you. And feel free to come back on. And I think you got your other guest, I guess. Liu. Hi, Liu. And
Liu, yes.
Okay. Tell us more about us, Liu.
I know. These are my two biggest fans, honestly. They're the ones who hear me screaming and singing and belting from the top of my lungs all day, every day.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of breed is Frankie and Lilu?
Frankie is half boxer, half ridgeback. Lilu is a little bit of a mutt. She's a little bit of who knows what, but we love her. And she's just the sweetest, territorial little angel. But she's like, when she knows you, she just glues her face onto your leg, so you have to like walk with her. She's very, very cute, very clingy too. Mm-hmm. And Frankie's just kind of like man of the house. But I'm actually here in Tel Aviv. My parents finally got the approval to fly back to the States and to visit my grandmother finally, and my brother. So they're over there now. So I'm actually in their place watching Lilu, who is theirs, and Frankie, who is mine. So we're all here hanging out together on the Mike Wagner Show.
Yes, and of course, we like to welcome our fans and special guests as well too. I would have my special guest on, except he'd be too little hyper and just dominate the whole show, probably break some things. You know how they are, but we'll talk more about that.
Yes,
but then, of course, that we're here to talk about your amazing career. Your father's a head photographer of Penthouse Magazine. Your mom's a prima ballerina. You lived in Los Angeles in the Dollhouse, and worked in Tel Aviv since 2013 as a songwriter with the UK's Invisible Men and Cut Father and more. And also you made the top 10 on The Voice and numerous hits with Let's Mars in Israel, and have a new song called Get It Out. And before we get this all out, tell us how I first got started, Talia.
Wow, to go all the way back to the back to the back?
To the back, to the back, to the back, to back. Yep, to the back. Thank you.
Okay, so let's see, from the back to the back to the back to the back. My parents are massive music fans, and my dad wouldn't even consider himself to be much of a musical person, but he appreciates music. Mm-hmm. And he loves music, and he knows when something is good and something has a feeling connected to it. And my mom, being in the New York City Ballet, she was, surrounded by classical music all of her life and dancing. And it's actually kind of funny because when I was a kid, some of my fondest memories are waking up in the morning before school to classical music. My dad would put it throughout the house, and that's how me and my
Wow.
brother would get ready for school every morning. And I remember as a kid not really like paying attention to it, but now I cannot not start my days without classical music.
Wow.
So it really stuck.
That's something I should have done as a kid. It's just like, have them play classical, or it's like I could have done to my kids. Now I'm thinking about it, if they really sleep, I could have put on some Metallica. So
Oh, well, here's the thing. Just to be clear, it's not like it was only classical. I mean, growing up, I was always, always, always surrounded by music. I mean, there was always music everywhere I went. And growing up in LA, you spend the majority of your time in the car. So having your parents drive you around everywhere, I was constantly listening to all different kinds of music. And my parents were really into the Beatles, Joni Mitchell, Carly Simon, the Moody Blues, Duran Duran, Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac. I mean, you name it, I was all over the spectrum. And then I loved musical theater. I loved Barbara Streisand. I loved learning songs. I'll tell you one thing, I was a terrible student, but I could learn the lyrics to a song in like 5 minutes.
wow.
And yeah. So it's funny how your brain will choose what kind of information it wants to retain. But yeah, I guess if I'm as far back as I can remember, when I was 7 years old, let's see, I remember my mom was getting ready to sign me up for this summer camp that I had been going to the last few years. And I remember we were standing in the kitchen, and she picks up this brochure, and she says to me, "Okay, Talia, you have a choice. You can either go back to camp with all of your friends, or you can audition for this musical." And I was like, musical? And I had already left. My grandparents, I think my grandparents were really to blame for showing me and introducing me to that whole Broadway musical theater dream kind of thing. And everything is musical. And so my mom was like, "Okay, so camp, or you can audition for Annie." And I was like, Annie.
No brainer.
No brainer. Not even she said, I didn't even give it like a second to think about it. And I auditioned, and I ended up getting Annie.
Nice.
And which was really cool. It was like my first kind of professional performing arts program. I was 7 years old, and that was my first taste of really being on stage and singing for more than just my family.
Wow.
And of course I loved it, and I ate it up. And flash forward, a few years later, I am in the same musical theater program and doing all of these shows and going to schools to study music. I studied jazz. I was in the jazz choir. I was in the classical choir. I was doing all of the shows in high school. And the high school that I went to was really well known for our music program. My senior year there, we were one of, I think, the only high schools to get permission to do Chicago.
Wow, amazing.
And yeah, and we got Sandal Bergman, who was, I don't know if you know musical theater or anything that well, but way back when, so All That Jazz.
I remember that. Yeah, Ray Fosse and all that. Yeah, Ray Fosse. I remember that.
So she was one of the main dancers in that film, and she came and choreographed for us, and we ended up making like $80,000 or $90,000 in ticket sales for like a high school.
Amazing.
Yeah. So that was kind of like the first real, I guess, passion that I developed towards
Mhm.
music, but I had the musical theater, but then I had this like rocker side of me that loved to belt until like my throat gave out, which is not a healthy way to sing. I
Right.
know
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
but
yeah, just like today's singers, I know what you mean. You know what? I do correct myself. It's not Ray Fosse, it's Bill Fosse. I think that's the name. I knew it was Fosse. It's like I couldn't remember who the first name was.
I it's Bill Fosse. Bill Fosse?
I think it is. Yeah, I was thinking of another Fosse, but go ahead. So,
I'm honestly, I feel pretty bad for not knowing what the first name is either, but it's all
don't
right.
worry about it.
Anywho, Bob Fosse.
Bob Fosse, that's it. Oh, I was wrong on both
Thank
parts. It's like,
God.
oh man,
Woo!
I need some coffee, please.
The B was good. The B was a good giver. Okay, anyways. So we after high school, I applied to colleges. I was a terrible student. I was only good in the things that really mattered to me and things that I was interested in, music, maybe English. I don't know how I graduated high school. I really like was so lucky because my parents really, really helped me out. They gave me so many tutors. No, they were always really cool about it. I mean, school was never an easy thing for them either. So I kind of feel like they were just like, we can't give you a hard time about this. It's hard. But they helped me a lot with homework, with getting tutors and everything like that. And somehow I graduated. I went to college at the University of Arizona for 2 years where I was studying to get my BFA in musical theater. And after my sophomore year, I got cut from the program because they just didn't know what to do with me. That was kind of thing. They were like, well, you kind of like, it was like I was too contemporary for them. And it was a very classical training program.
Oh, wow.
And I think that the overall vibe they got from me was like, I was this party girl, because I kind of lived both of those lives. I don't know if you know, but the University of Arizona is like a massive party school. And ever since I can remember, even in high school, I was always the musical theater nerd, but I was also cool with the cool kids. I want to say, like, not always. It's not that I was cool with them, but like, I know that there was never any tension there really. And so the same kind of like carried out through to college where I wanted to kind of have a taste of both worlds. Oh, what is this sorority thing? Which, by the way, I lasted for about like 6 months when I was like, okay, I'm out of here. And no offense to anybody who joins a sorority. It's an amazing thing. I made so many wonderful friends and met so many girlfriends, but it was just like not where my head is at right now. And so I kind of think that they got this overall vibe that like I was too crazy for their program or something like that. Maybe I was, but like,
or maybe or what you're saying is you're pretty much ahead of their time.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, I think I remember that's when I was starting to kind of get all of my tattoos and stuff. And every other month or so, I would try to like get a little one here and a little one. And back then, even though it was like, 10, no, how many years ago? Whatever. It was still like, I remember my professors saying to me, you're going to have a much more difficult time landing jobs with tattoos. And I was just like, excuse me.
Don't tell Axl Rose that. Don't you dare tell him that. Don't you dare.
Yeah, I was like, but to be completely fair, like I loved everybody who I was going to school with, and I had a really great support system there and really great, wonderful, talented people around me. But it was just like, this isn't where I belong. And so I told my professors after this whole meeting and them giving me their spiel about why I wasn't good enough or why this wasn't good enough for me or, all of this stuff. I was like, guys, and I remember right before I was nervous about it, of course, because you're pretty much going into a table and you're having all of these people that you've listened to for the last 2 years of your life pretty much dictate how your life is going to be, what your schedule is going to be like, how to do this, how to do that, and to tell them we're just kind of giving up on you. It was like a punch in the stomach a little bit. And I remember my mom saying to me, listen, put on a really nice dress, fix your hair, put on some makeup, look good, feel good, and go in there knowing that you're better off without them.
And that's true as well too. And then from Arizona, where'd you go from there?
New York.
Nice.
I went to New York and I was like, I'm going to try this real thing out. Fuck them. They say I can't do it. I bet you I can do it. And I did. I lasted for a year in New York, freezing my asshole off.
Oh my gosh.
This winter thing, this snow thing for a California girl.
Mm-hmm.
No. It was so cold. Mike, I could not walk outside of my apartment without like blankets around my head as a scarf. Sorry.
But then again, if you made it in New York, like got on a musical stage or anything like that, you got a name. Frank Sinatra said, if you made it, you made it in New York. That's what they say.
It's true. I didn't make it in New York, but that's okay. And it was
in your own mind, everybody's mind. So.
In everybody's mind, but it was okay because it was just like, it's a beautiful city, but it's a tough city, especially when you're younger and you're trying to figure shit out and you're trying to like heal this wound, of getting kicked out of your program and whatever. Just this like big cloud of rejection, is like floating around your head. And so it took a lot of work to get over that and to realize, okay, what do I do now? I mean, I was working 2 to 3 jobs at a time. I was auditioning almost every day of the week, taking acting classes, voice lessons, doing the whole thing. And finally, like my dad came out, he flew out for a rescue mission because one time I just got to a point where I was like, Mom, Dad, you gotta come see me. I'm so fucking miserable. I'm so lonely. Nothing is there. And so my dad came out and he bought me my first keyboard.
Nice.
And he was like, maybe it's time you stop waiting by the telephone and you start writing your own shit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I didn't really think about it too much because, I mean, to backtrack a little bit, in college, I guess the year that I got cut, I started to teach myself how to play the guitar, and and I wrote my first fully structured song. It's called Last Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really think too much of it, but then I just kind of, I didn't really continue too much after that. And then when I was in New York and my dad bought me this piano, I didn't know how to play piano. I'd never really paid attention to my piano classes in school just because I was like busy screwing around. I was kind of a class clown, which explains a lot of the reasons why I didn't do so well in school. But
then again, you could have took up comedy too. It's just like class clowns actually do well in comedy. You ever thought about that?
Comedy scares the shit out of me, like stand-up comedy. I also have this weird thing where like people get on stage and I'm like I feel nervous for them, but then once they start going, it's like I have this immense feeling of like, fuck, I wish I could do that, but I guess I do it in my own way.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so my dad buys me the keyboard and I kind of start plunking and figuring things out. Mind I say, like, I still am not a piano player. I don't want to say never, but there's a big chance in the near future you won't be seeing me playing the piano on stage because it's just, I plunk, I figure things out by ear. I usually never know what the hell I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
but if it sounds good, it works for me.
Mhm.
So
And of course, the results in one of your hits as well, too. We'll talk more about your musical career, you being in Tel Aviv, and a lot more. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forrest Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Molson Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, and heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Also on Amazon on the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, hoodies, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags for ladies, and more. And make sure you also check out Mia Molson Zia's book Missing, and other great books by this wonderful author out of Pakistan. Go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson Zia. And for great gift ideas, you can also order today. Also, make sure you give generously to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Also, support us on Anchor FM/support, PayPal, and make sure you give generously, even if it's just a few dollars for a beer, or $10, $50, or $100, even like Jeff Bezos. Go to MikeWagnerShow.com. Support today, as well as Anchor FM and PayPal as well. And also, make sure you do it today. We're here with a singer-songwriter, very multi-talented, Talia Londoner, here on the Mike Wagner Show with her special guest. I guess one of them decided to butt in once again. And, of course, we talk about your musical career. And before we talk about the song Get It Out, which you did get it out, it's coming out real soon, that you also worked in Tel Aviv since 13, a songwriter with the UK's Invisible Men, Cutthroat, and Cut Feather, many more. And before we talk about your getting into music, tell us how you first got to Tel Aviv.
Okay, well, it was about 2013, and I was feeling really kind of lost and confused in LA. And I remember I was having dinner with my dad. And by the way, you know, we're a family of cooks. We all cook. We all love being in the kitchen.
Yum! You're making me hungry. What's your favorite dish, by the way?
Oh gosh, that's like asking me what my favorite song is. I don't think I can answer it.
Well, I mean, one particular dish that stands out in your mind, like your most favorite, you could eat 24/7. Mine is pizza. I gotta say that. So I could eat that any day.
I was gonna say pizza.
Oh, great minds think alike. What do you like in your pizza?
I'm a pretty not too crazy. Like, I like my pizza and my ice cream pretty generic, I guess. Like, cheese is great. I'm not really eating meat so much anymore, but when I would like inhale a pepperoni slice in a second.
Yeah. And of course, you know, New York had that big pizza, Chicago, the deep dish. I like sausage, pepperoni, also throw in some bacon, put some onion, green pepper, and drizzle some barbecue sauce on it too. It's like, that's my ideal pizza.
Oh yeah, that's delish. That's wonderful. So back to Tel Aviv, I was having dinner with my dad, and he was just like, I was really upset, and I was broken, and I was just so lost and didn't know which direction to go down. And he was like, listen, why don't you go to Israel? And I was like, okay, Dad, like, what the hell am I going to do over there? Like, well, you know, you have family over there because he's from Israel, and
okay.
And maybe you can spend some time with them. We can sign you up for for maybe a Hebrew course. And that night I was like, no. But then the next morning I woke up and I was like, okay, what do I have to lose? And at the time, so I've kind of been a lot of things in my life already. I was a makeup artist. I've been a cook in a restaurant. I'm a yoga instructor. I mean, the list kind of goes on. I've done it all to make, to keep my head above water and to invest in myself and to keep doing, what I'm doing. And shoot, I got lost. Where were we?
No, you're talking about doing
Tel Aviv.
In Tel Aviv, yes.
Right. So I was working as a makeup artist as at the time, and I just called all of my clients and I said, listen, guys, I'm going to Israel. I don't know for how long. Like I expected to be there for about a month or so. And I got there, signed myself up for a Hebrew course. Long story short, ended up staying, ended up wanting to stay, ended up getting a job. And when you're an American in Israel, you're like, shit, well, the only job I can get is is in tech, because I don't know if you know, but Israel is like the second Silicon Valley.
Mm-hmm.
It's like very big in tech. And I got a job somehow writing content for this social media company, and or for a few of them. And I had one friend who went behind my back and signed me up for The Voice.
Nice. That's nice. And I was going to get to that. You made the top 10 on The Voice, and tell us how you got on, and also your venture into The Voice as well, especially going to the top 10.
Yeah, so that was totally unexpected. I mean, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, because I, first of all, didn't know who the judges were. I had no idea what kind of music they made. I still didn't even understand Hebrew yet. So when I was on the show and they would critique me after I would perform, I couldn't understand what they were saying. So I had to like really use my my gut feeling and like my intuition to try to understand if the vibe was good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily it was good most of the time. There were a few bad times too, but yeah, and I made it up to the top 10. I think I was 6th or 7th to go, something like that. Yeah. And it was great because it opened up a lot of doors for me here. It introduced me to a lot of other people with similar interests. And that's how I met Oren, my creative partner, my collaborator, my co-writer, my producer, my angel on this planet. I mean, without him, none of this music would happen. Get It Out would have never happened.
Mm-hmm. And that's amazing too, that you made in the top 10 in The Voice, and you also wrote numerous hits with Let's Mars as well too. And tell us about that. Very popular.
So Let's Mars was Oren and I's first project together. We decided to make a band with our DJ Moshik, and yeah, we did really well. We had a few singles on the radio here. We made it to MTV Israel a few times, which was great. We played some really amazing venues, but we also played some really small venues, which were fun. We played venues for 1,000 people, and we played venues for like 3 people, so we kind of did it all in a pretty short amount of time. And then we got invited to play South by Southwest.
Nice.
And then Corona happened and canceled life.
Mm-hmm.
And after that all went down and nobody could really go anywhere, and it wasn't really safe to go anywhere. Oren and I kind of decided that he wanted to take a step back from being an artist and be more on like the creative side and the writing side, and I think he just knew that I was never really going to give up. So I said, okay, there I just kind of took it upon myself to take the time during Corona or during COVID, during quarantine. And first of all, it was a fantastic time for me. I'm sure a lot of different creators could say the same. Like, I felt so good being able to stay home and create. And I'm also a yoga instructor, which I'm not sure that I mentioned. Maybe I did.
You did mention, yes.
So I work as a yoga instructor. So it was great because everything was happening on Zoom. I would start my days with a yoga class on Zoom. And then I'd have a Zoom session. Like, I'd go and I'd eat lunch, and then I'd have a session on Zoom. And then I'd go, I'd teach another class on Zoom. And then after a while, it just got to me. I was like, I can't look at a screen anymore.
I think it happens to just about everybody too. After a while, sometimes you got to step back.
Yeah. But it was creatively, it was a fantastic time. And I decided to really take it on myself to get the wheels in motion. And I knew that I wanted Get It Out to be my first kind of hello to the world, and like, hi world, this is me. This is the music that I make. I'm Talia. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
And so I guess I'll segue into how Get It Out got started.
Okay. All right. You know something too? We're gonna talk about that in just a minute while you gather your thoughts. We're gonna take a quick time out. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson Z of Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with multi-talented singer-songwriter Talia Londoner out of Tel Aviv with Get It Out after this time out.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People, based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and more. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, where The Mike Wagner Show interviews great guests, cool conversation, lots of laughs, coffee, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We're back with singer-songwriter, multi-talented Talia Londoner of Tel Aviv with Get It Out on the Mike Wagner Show. I mean, you had an amazing career, being in Los Angeles, your father a head photographer of Penthouse Magazine, your mom being a prima ballerina, and of course you were in New York for a little bit, Arizona, and you worked in Tel Aviv since 13, and you also made the top 10 in The Voice, and now you're looking to get it out with a brand new single, and tell us more about that.
Yes, so Get It Out. Get It Out is out, which is fantastic. Get It Out was inspired by, I guess, a breakdown I had on the phone with my best friend. the same friend who is a Lakers fan and who knows everything about basketball. And, you know, we've been friends since we were 10 years old, and I could feel that she was kind of feeling heavy too. And we were both kind of going through things individually. And, you know, we're so used to being there for each other to cry and to complain and to vent and to bitch and, you know, the things that friends do. And we were having a really hard time being so far away from each other. You know, she was living in New York at the time. I was over here in Tel Aviv, and I could hear in her voice that she was gonna start to cry, which, like, you know how like a yawn is contagious? It's like you kind of hear it or you feel it, and then like you can feel your throat start to close up and like your eyes start to well and like it. So it just kind of happened, and I just said to her, it's okay, get it out. And as soon as she started, the wave just came and like rushed through me. And we, of course, felt so much better afterwards. I mean, it's like that sigh of relief and release of just like letting go, and that is how Get It Out was born. I mean, the next morning I was in the shower, and the line, you know, just get it out, all those feelings that you keep inside. So that just kind of like popped into my head, and I was like, whoa, in the shower. And I was like, oh, I gotta go. I like left the shower running. I'm like running all over my apartment, dripping naked all over the floor, looking for my phone to record it before I forget it.
Don't you take a towel first or something?
I did, but I was just holding it and like looking for my phone. I could have totally slipped and really hurt myself, but thankfully I didn't. And then I recorded it. I finished my shower and went to the piano to try to plunk something out that sounded like it would fit to that, and it just kind of kept going and flowing, and before I knew it, I had the chorus to my debut single, which was amazing because even at first I didn't know that it was a chorus. Boaz, my fiance, excuse me, we are freshly engaged, so that's really
congratulations.
fun to say. Thank you very much. Boaz is actually, I don't know if you are aware, but he's the one who made the video. He filmed, edited, and directed it.
Nice.
And so he was the one who made me realize, because he saw me, I was like trying to top myself with, okay, not even thinking that was going to be the chorus. I was trying to come up with a different chorus, and I thought that maybe that could be the verse to the song. And he was like, what are you doing? Why are you sitting here and breaking your teeth? This is a hit chorus. This is amazing. This is so catchy. I can't stop singing it. It's like stuck in my head. I was like, really? And I was like, yeah. So I took it to Oren immediately, and he was like, oh yeah. And we like got in there, and the process was pretty quick, actually. The writing process, we finished it pretty quickly, Oren and I together. And then once it was done, we kind of were like, okay, this is really good. Should we try to like sell it to another artist? Should we? Because that's what we were kind of focusing on at the time, was being a songwriting team, and we still are. But a few months later, I was like, I can't let go of this one. Like, I feel like this is kind of my baby, and I need to really be protective over it and take this one for myself. And I'm really, really happy I did. And I'm really happy that like I stood behind that. And once I made the decision, I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to release it without a video. So what am I going to do for the video? And I sat with myself. I don't know if you're allowed to say this kind of stuff on your podcast, but like I sat and I smoked a joint. And I was like, okay, you know what? This is how I see this video happening.
Hmm.
And I started to write down all of these things, like all of these things that I was visualizing. And before I knew it, I had this shot list completely written out for the video. And before I hadn't really asked my parents for help in anything. And I was like, okay, guys, I have the shot list for the video. Can we do it? They're like,
They said, sure.
They're like, no, they're like, you're out of your mind, but let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. And then we made the video, and that was that. And it happened. I mean, like, having my parents involved in this video and my partner in music, my partner in life. I mean, it was a family affair, and it was, I feel so lucky and so grateful to have had that experience and to have had them there to help me, because without them, it would have never happened.
And that's very amazing as well, too. I mean, you'll pull out work into it. That was a great job. And where can we find Get It Out at?
You can find Get It Out on my YouTube page, Talia Londoner. Get It Out. You can stream it on Spotify, on iTunes, on anything you like to do that kind of thing for. Follow me on Instagram, Tui Louie. Tui Louie was actually my nickname growing up. My friends still call me Tui Louie back at home.
Tui Louie.
And Tui Louie, yeah. And I just started a TikTok page, which I'm still trying to figure out, but you can also follow me there if you dare.
We certainly will do so. Once again, we're singer, songwriter, multi-talented Talia Londoner here on the Mike Wagner Show out of Tel Aviv with Get It Out. In just a few more minutes, you've been absolutely fantastic. I love hearing your story. It's just amazing. And what else can we expect?
Mike, thank you so much for having me, first of all.
And no problem. And before we go here, what can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond?
Well, I think 2021 is going to be a very, very wonderful year for me. I mean, of course, nobody knows what the hell is going to happen tomorrow with everything that's going on in the world, but I am working on my debut EP, and that should be coming hopefully later on this year. I'm looking at summer. That's what I'm going for. I'm just going to say summer.
We're so
summer. It's going to be the EP of the summer.
We're so looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Wow, what a question to end on. You know what? My mom, my grandma, the women in my life, also the men in my life. I have some pretty fantastic men around me, thank God. Mm-hmm. And all of the powerful women who always had something to say and were never afraid to say it. Music, Gwen Stefani, Alanis Morissette, Joni Mitchell, Carole King. I mean, Betty Davis, Janis Joplin. The list goes on and on and on and on. And they really, Linda Perry,
mm-hmm.
They were all massive, still are influences for me today. And I'm just very grateful to have had them be able to pave a road for people like me.
And that's very amazing too. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Anybody?
Yes.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. That's it. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because people are nicer than you expect.
Mm-hmm. And that's very important as well, too. Very good advice. Once again, singer, songwriter, multi-talented Talia Londoner here on Mike Wagner Show. Talia, very big. Thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor. Keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your music?
Well, I'm currently working on Get It Out hats. I don't know if you can see them. I've got my logo, my flower, and I've got here, it says Get It Out in the font. So those are coming real soon. If you follow me on Instagram, Talia Londoner, my handle is Tui Louie. You can follow me on my YouTube page for more music videos that are coming up, more songs, and stream me on Spotify. Download it on iTunes. I'm everywhere. Just look for me and you'll find me.
We certainly will do so. Once again, Talia, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you
Thank you
soon.
so much, Mike.
Nope. And do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021
I
and beyond.
will.
And don't forget to keep in touch. You've been absolutely terrific. And special thanks to your guests.
They say thank you very much.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.